On today's episode of Street Kung Fu, we're going to work on Tan Sau, the spreading hand. Stay tuned. What's going on, YouTube fam? Welcome back to Street Kung Fu. I'm Sifu Manfredy. This is my assistant Isaac Jones as usual. And today we're going to work on a technique called Tan Sau in the Wing Chun system, which means spreading hand or depressing hand, depending on how you want to translate it. And it goes a little something like this. If he starts off with a right-handed punch, go over the center and cross, go over the center and cross. So you're crossing the center line a little bit in order to deflect your opponent's punch that's oncoming towards your face, towards your chest, so on and so forth. This drill is going to be a very simple one, and then we're going to variate it a little bit at the end to give you a couple additives to it. All right, so again, we're going to start here, which again, this is for training purposes. We're going to start in what's called the Wing Chun Baizhong, which is Wing Chun guarded stance, okay? And when he throws his punch, I'm going to slightly dip my hand down so I can get a rotation, all right? And as it comes in, I shift, and I can punch, or I can just block. Right now, we're going to block. He's going to come in again. I'm going to shift the other way and block. Now, as he's coming for my face. Go. Boom. Again. Boom. He's coming towards my face. You need to have it going directly towards what you're trying to protect, either your jaw, your face, chest area. So about this window here in the upper gate. All right. So again, he's coming in. 1, 2. Now I shift. I veer him off the center line. Again, that center line is that imaginary line going from the top of your head down to the floor through the center of your body. In Wing Chun and Jeet Kune Do and most martial arts, actually, we're trying to engulf this center line. Okay. So when we're doing this, I'm taking him off center and I'm keeping mine directed towards him. All right, so we go to the other side. Now, when you're going from left to right, I normally give my hand a little bit of a twist right before I go in order to not be as choppy with it. All right, so if I just go like this, right, and just do this, I'm going to end up missing. So watch. 1. See what I mean? Get punched right in the mouth. I don't want to do that. So if I give it a little twist from here to there, makes a world of difference. All right, so 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. He speeds up. All right, and then as you can see, I can lead into something else called Pak Sau. Now, like I said earlier, we're going to give you a variation at the end. I'm going to include that particular one in that variation. So right now, I want you focusing on is that center line technique where your hand's coming up the center for the Tan Sau. Your fingertips should be either right in your chin or right through your lip, right in front of it, okay? But it shouldn't be tucked in like this. If it's tucked in and I do that, he's going to hit because it's going to stay collapsed. I do it the other way, it's going to mess me all up. If he pushes forward, he can elbow me, he can push me off center very, very easily, okay? So you want to make sure that you extend it. You want a full extension. You see what I mean? 45-degree angle at the elbow. Don't lock your elbow. So just 1, 2, 3, 4. And you remember that little twist I mentioned earlier? When I do that little twist, when I hit his arm, it's striking it. Okay? So for instance, he punches. Okay, give me another good one. You can hear that pop. All right? In reality, I'm going to do that. Okay? And if he throws another one, that's where the variation comes in with the Pak Sau. Okay, so again, 1, 2. All right, now you notice he's throwing it with a little bit of force. All you got to do is put it where it needs to be. If I'm doing this, I deserve to get knocked out. Okay, so when he's coming in nice and hard, I expect him to actually try to hit my face. If he's not trying to hit my face, he's not putting me in any kind of fight or flight mode at all. Even in training, I want you aiming for the face. Just gauge your distance so you don't hit each other. If I gauge my distance and I don't step in, I can throw him out and never hit him. Okay, but if I lean in, pow, he's gonna catch one right in the kisser. All right, so again, 1, you can throw a punch into it 2, roll it slightly, and as the other one comes in, 2, 3, 4, and so on. All right, so remember, you gotta cover that center line. When you're doing the Silam Tao form, which we'll cover in another video, you know, we do this particular technique a lot, especially in the beginning, okay? And when we do it, we're covering the dead center of our center line, okay? When we're doing it in application purposes, it's still in the center, but we're shifting, all right? So it gives us way more room to play with. If I do that and I just keep it centered, and he does that, he's gonna bypass my guard, okay? If I do that and I shift, I'm right there, okay? It's going to work. Just put it where it needs to be. Relax until the moment of impact, just like in your strikes. You know, I'm relaxed, I'm whipping my hand out. When it impacts, I tighten up for a split second, and then I let it go, all right? So now, we're gonna do the variation, which is Tan Da, which is strike, or punch in this case, all right? Roll to the other side. Okay, that's one variation. Variation number 2 is going to be 1, Pak Sau, 2, and then another Tan Da in the inside. All right, and then when he throws this punch here, I can Pak again, and then when he throws the other punch, I go back outside. Okay, so again, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so play with that. It's Tan Sau punch, Pak Sau punch, Tan Sau punch on the inside, Pak Sau punch again to get back to the outside, and then Tan Sau punch again on the outside. So one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? Now I know there's a lot in there. I don't expect any opponent to stand up to 5 different techniques, let alone let 5 different techniques, you know, hit them simultaneously. I mean, I'm being unrealistic. If I hit somebody with the first one, you know, 9 times out of 10, they're going to get jarred, all right? If they get hit, and I'm going to do this with a palm so I don't hit him, you know, right in the nose with a fist, all right? So when I go here, bam, you see what I'm saying? I want to hit, and he's already jarred, and I'm not hitting him hard, you know? Boom. So picture that being a punch. If I hit with a punch, his jaw is going to get cocked that way, and he's going to get knocked back. Then I'm going to have to chase him, you know? So I want to hit here, and if this is a 1-2 combo, it's 1, 2. You know, I might even slap him if I don't want to punch him, and then come back in and then punch him. So 1, 2, or even 1 without punching, and then 2 and punch him on the next one. So play with it. You know, you've got 2 techniques to work with there. I know this particular video is for the Tan Sau, but utilize a Pak Sau as well. Pak Sau is a very common and, in my opinion, overutilized because it's really simple. Okay, it's a very simple technique. I mean, it literally means slapping hand. So, you know, when you're here, you're just slapping their hand. You can do that without any martial training. Somebody throws a punch and you just, hey, what are you doing? Does that make sense? Good. All right, so keep that in mind. Keep your training going. See you next time. We got more techniques just like this one to come here on Street Kung Fu. Hit that subscribe button.